Oh, let me adjust the camera. There we go. Move it so we don't look at the other tripod. I swear, at one point I'm going to put little marks on the carpet with blue tape so I know exactly where to put the tripods so that we can see everything. I'm always curious. I wonder what kind of ads we're going to end up with this week and how many we're going to have. It's my trash can. Making messes. Good morning, Jackie. Oh, hi, Jody. Welcome, welcome. Jody made it here right on time today. She's probably doing better than I am with her schedule. Put you down there out of the way. I didn't plan much for this week because I knew what I was going to do, but then I didn't know how I was going to do it. So at, I don't know, 10:40, I'm like scurrying, going, oh no, I got to get this done and that done. Thankfully, you guys are pretty easygoing. Move that there. If I touch that cord, sorry, I'm making the tripod phone wibble wobble. I have you on an adjustable. So let's see if that'll help. It's always an adventure when you hang out with me. You never know what you're going to get. There we go. We'll see if that works today. The solution would probably do more live streams and I wouldn't have to constantly be adjusting things. I'd be all set, right? Hi, Susan. Oh, welcome, Susan. I'm so glad you found us for your first time. Welcome to the randomness of Robin's studio, where she is definitely not a professional and makes it up as she goes. 100%. Wow, that wobbles a lot over. Oh, you know what's making it wobble? Stupid fan. Huh. Okay, hold on. Oh, hey, Bev. I was just thinking about you today. How are you doing? Let's see, maybe that'll help. See, everyone likes to see when I get an ad, and then you guys can see me sewing. Whoops. Watch me trip over the tripod. Tripod, meaning 3 legs, Robin. There's always one to trip over. And again, this is why I start early, to make all of my mistakes before we get going. Okay, let me know. Let's see if it'll settle down and stop wobbling, because that's going to be really annoying. I have to wait for my laptop to catch up to reality. I think I just need to turn the fan down. I was really surprised. It's a, what kind is this? It's a Hampton Bay fan. It's one of those really nice fans, and it's a big 5-blade, I think. It might be more, and it drops down from the ceiling to a nice low level, and it really, the high is super, super high. Hi, Deborah. Oh, welcome to Deborah, also your first time. Jackie, I was wondering how you were doing with your move. Hi, June. So what we're doing today, hi, Kathy. Oh, in Belgium, yes. It's just 5 minutes to 11 a.m. here in Arizona. We have a few people that come over from your side of the world to hang out with us, and it's nighttime to them, of course. Movers unloaded the pods on Tuesday. Oh my goodness, is that thing gonna still wobble? That's gonna drive me crazy. All right, you know what we're gonna do? Besides, whoa, can you see those scissors going? And there they go. Good thing there wasn't a cat there. Okay, what we're gonna do before we get into everything, it's free time. I can make mistakes. It's not 11 o'clock yet. I have my tripod that doesn't have a gooseneck. So bear with me. If you get seasick, close your eyes. Don't look at the screen. So this, it's going to be one of those days. This is the tripod, and it allows me to move it so I can put the camera in front of the sewing machine easier. And I've been using it for the live streams because it allows me to adjust it nicely. This guy that just fell over is my usual tripod. I like to keep it in one position for when I'm filming over my table, but that doesn't work for a live stream. And the adjusters are so darn tight on this. Oh, look, we got an ad. Isn't that nice? I had to set you guys down. Hold on. It's going to get dark. Stupid thing. Come on, tripod, be nice to me. There we go. Okay, all right, lights coming back on. Hi, what an adventure. I was just thinking this morning, what can I do to improve my YouTube channel, my Etsy shop, my Instagram? Well, apparently what I can do is to learn how to use my equipment properly and not be such a mess. But if I wasn't such a mess, would I even be me? All right, now if the fan can move this one, the floor is also, it's a carpet on top of plastic wood, you know, the wood slats that they put down that they're fake, and they put that right on top of, I don't know if there's tile underneath there or cement, but when you step on the floor, it goes like this in a lot of places. All right, so we'll just stick with this. Let me see what's going on. Oh, almost 6 p.m. Hi, Ellen. You found a sewing machine, Jackie? Oh, when you're unpacking. Okay, I thought you meant you found a sewing machine when you were packing. Hi, Pamela. Okay, it's not moving now. We good? Now, I do have the tabletop fan on across the room, and last time you guys said it wasn't too bad in the background to just go ahead and leave the fan on so that I don't have to overheat again. You just let me know if it's too loud, and I'll go ahead and turn it off. I have it on low. So I think we're going to be able to see everything without just showing you my stomach all day. And you don't want to look in my ear either. I had it across the table a couple of times, but it really vibrates with the sewing machine when the sewing machine's going, and it's not good either. And even if I pulled the table out, there's my grandfather's hope chest from the Navy down underneath here, and it would still end up rocking and stuff. Plus the cats would end up bumping into it because I know how they are. Hey, before I put this away, I wanted to show you guys because we all like to share information. This is called Voltaren. You can get it at pharmacies. I think Walmart has it, and I buy it off of Amazon. It is the best thing for little aches and pains. I had broken a little bone on the side of my foot, and it's just really sore. It's nothing that they can do. It's like a floating bone. You can just make sure you're wearing good shoes for so many weeks until it heals. And of course, I never follow that. So when my feet hurt from standing too much or something, I put a little of this on it, and it takes the pain away immediately. It also works really great for my neck problems. I buy it on Amazon. I get a big tube and a little tube. You know, you buy one, you get one for travel or something like that. And it's supposed to be as strong as the prescription strength was, and it's good for arthritis pain. When my hands get achy and stuff, it works really good. Just make sure you don't have any open wounds because that's extremely painful on the open wounds. So just a little information there. The eczema on my hands is healing and flaring back up at the same time. Please let me know if I'm grossing anyone out and if it's bothering you. I do have my gloves here. They do make it a little bit harder to work. Everything so far, I just see on my hand right there, just looks kind of red and blotchy. So hopefully I don't gross anyone out. But if I do, let me know. I do have the gloves. Okay, let's play catch up. Hi, Laura. Hi, Janice. Oh, Davenport, Iowa. I heard how warm it is up there, Janice. And you guys got a lot of humidity going on. I don't pay attention to the weather too far in advance, but my daughter asked me to check on the weather for the week. And Jackie, did you see on Tuesday we're going to be down to 98 for our high? It's like a cool front coming through here because it was 116 the other day. I think it's supposed to be 106 today. I mean, it's not bad because there's no humidity, so it's not like you guys are dealing with everywhere. They say all across the world, and especially across the U.S., that the temperatures are pretty hot right now. We don't have the humidity, but that sun. I was just out in the driveway talking to my daughter for a couple minutes, and I got sunburn in the part of my hair on the top of my head. It is crazy. Hi, Frida. All right, so what I'm going to do today is I made this sewing machine mat with my patrons several years ago. I know I was still in my house, so that's prior to 23. I'd have to look it up, but it's still okay. It's starting to get worn in a few spots. The binding in the corners, because I didn't secure down the corners, and a couple of the sides I can't see are popping. I thought I'd take the leftovers from the fan's not a problem. Thank you, Janice. I appreciate it. The leftovers from the improv scrappy log cabins. I have all of these strips left over. I thought I'd go ahead and make myself a mat. And I also realized over time that I like it a little further in the back because as I'm doing chain piecing and sewing, the back of this mat catches all the loose threads, so they don't get all over the table. So I thought if I made it a few inches deeper and just a little bit wider, then it will catch more in the back. Plus it'll add more color to my room. And I can go ahead and take this and either hang it up on the wall or use it for something else before it's totally destroyed. Now, of course, the center is in pristine condition because the sewing machine is always on the center of it. It's 92 in Cherokee, Iowa. I'm on the other side of Iowa from where it's very hot today. Yeah. We have some nice breezes. They said we're supposed to have a 40-mile-per-hour gust today, which just means if you stood inside of an oven and you turned on like the convection oven and the hot air just blew all over you. It's nice, but it's still hot. I love Voltaren. You're not organized today, Jody. Get gas, eggs, food. Clean your fabric room. And vac spiders. Yeah. I'm kind of in a decent position. Knock on cutting mats and wood. I've got things pretty good. I just thought I was in good shape for today, so I didn't plan. Seattle's 53. Jealous. Not the 53. I'm jealous about the sprinkling. Yeah, I don't know. I was looking on the weather. Let me see if my other phone is still charged. I'm going to be turning my other phone in and, getting some money off of it because I don't use it as much as I thought I would. Yeah, it's not even charged. I have Fox 10 News, the Weather Channel, and when you go and you get that weather app on your phone, it's got like blue on the background. That's the one that said it was going to be 98 on Tuesday. I didn't believe it, but my daughter said check the temperatures on Tuesday. Because her store is opening this Tuesday, finally, Mission Barbecue here in Surprise, Arizona. She's so excited, but they're going to spend most of the day outside, and she doesn't want to spend it outside when it's over 100. 90s here it's hot, but it's kind of comfortable. Feels like 102. Yeah, that humidity. If you guys have high humidity, your area is hotter than Arizona right now. And I know locals will say that I'm crazy, but 89, 90 something in like Iowa, Florida, New York, wherever, with the humidity being high, it feels hotter with that heavy mugginess. Coming from Florida to here, no doubt it's hot here, but that humidity makes it so much worse. The dry heat is easier to deal with. But if you go outside for too long and you're like walking or something, we don't know how hot it is and how dry and dehydrated we're getting. And I think that sun will just burst you into flames and catch you on fire because the sun itself is hot. Yeah, when that humidity gets up there over 100, it's hot, hot, hot. Currently 97, on its way to 105. Yeah, we're still, I saw this morning it said it's supposed to be 106 today, but Tuesday is when it's supposed to be nice, so we'll see. 88. 88, if it's hot for you and that's the temperatures you're used to, then hot. Like when you talk about the people when they're over in the UK and stuff, and they're like, we're having a heat wave, so I do the Celsius to Fahrenheit thing, and it's like 78 degrees. I'm like, well, okay, it's hot for them. It's not necessarily hot for us. So what I'm doing is I am cutting strips. See my major plan here? I like to draw things out in really an official, to scale. So I'm thinking I want my mat to be about 28 inches wide, which would be from, here's the number 1 that you can see, and 28 is over here. And I want it to be 20 inches tall, which would be from here where my finger is all the way up to the end of the board. That's kind of big, and I have the option, I can always cut it down afterwards if it looks too big to me, but that's where I'm going to start. And I thought that I would cut a bunch of strips. My plan is to sew these together. They are 4.75 inches, 4 3/4 of inch by whatever width it happens to be. So some are narrow, some are wide. You guys saw them in the log cabin, project and stuff. By the way, I finished all 28 of those blocks. You'll see them on Whip It Wednesday. I'm hoping to have time to lay them all out on the kitchen floor so that I can see and show you what the quilt looks like. I'm going with 4 3/4 of an inch because I know myself. That's why I sew scraps to calculator strips, because they're going to be a little off. That's going to allow me to, if I line them all up on the left side, I can straighten up that left side, and then I can straighten it up at 4.5. It gives me that little bit of wiggle room. This project doesn't matter because I'm just going to lay a bunch down until it's big enough. But if I do them at 4.5, that means I'll have 7 columns going across. 33, I'd have to check to see what that is, Kathy. I'm really not good at Celsius to Fahrenheit and back again. But that number is large. I know a lot of people say they enjoy it when it's 14 or 18 or something, or if it's over 18, it's hot. So 33's got to be up in the 80s or more. Yeah, so there's my little 7 rows and however many I need to do. So that's what I'm doing. I just went through and I cut a bunch at 4 3/4. I'm going to sew them together in groups of 2, and then in groups of 4, and then until it gets to the 20 inches tall. So each column could have a different number of strips based on how wide they are. So I'm going to cut some more up. These are ones that I don't know if I've cut them yet. I did cut 2 of every fabric that's in here. I still saved out these just because I really like them and I want to use them in something else. And I took out this orange because it's so narrow, but I could put it back in. It would just make it, it's only 1.5 inches, so it would only be 1 inch wide. And with how wide most of these are, it would get eaten up. And then these are all the little bits that are less than 4 3/4. So I'll go ahead and use those in another project. And I still have a bunch left. 92. I thought it was pretty high. Thank you, Jackie. Like that has to be at least 88. So yeah, I'm going to keep cutting these, adding it to my pile, even though I know some of these are already in there because I grabbed the green ones to start with. So if I have 4 in there, then I have 4 in there. It's like whatever. And I'm not being too particular. I'm just lining up the 2 edges. And if this end looks a little off, I just do my best to guess and then cut it at 4 3/4. And again, that gives me that wiggle room in case I need to, well, not in case, let's just face it, I will need, I already have some of this in there and I don't want to put it in again, but I don't mind this. And then over here I have my iron, so when I have to iron strips, but now I'll be blocking the camera, so I'm just going to sneak in underneath there where you can't see me and do it. So I whisper so you don't know I'm doing it. Aren't they, Pamela? I thought they were really fun too. These came from my scrappy godmother, and I've had them for a bit. And when I ran out for the log cabin, she sent me some more, and now I have tons of these that I can still play with. So I figure makeup bags, zipper pouches, something or another, this, that, the next thing. I want to make sure I use them up and not just, you know, like hoard them or put them back in the stash and not use them. They need to become stuff so that, you know, the year 2025, I like to use my scraps anyways, but it's really popular this year to use what you have instead of buying more. Oh, I need to put water in my iron. Did I put the water far enough? Yep, I put the water so far away I can't reach it. Hold on, I gotta let my leash off a little. This little iron, it's great, except, so it's this little iron, the Oliso. It's great, except it doesn't hold water for very long. It's got a small tank, and I had to fill it up multiple times. I have to check my big iron. I haven't been using it. Hold on, I'm filling water. Not talking, paying attention, don't overfill. I haven't been using it because it stopped steaming. I think the holes are plugged and they need to be cleaned. I just don't want to do it wrong. And I don't think about it when I have time, and when I don't have time is when I think about it. So I have to just do some research to see. I think it's pretty much just put some vinegar and water in it, let it heat up and squish it out a bunch of times. But I want to make sure for this iron if that's correct. And when I do that, I also want to bring out the cordless Panasonic that I have from my scrappy godmother actually, and see if I can clean the mineral deposits out of that, because that one stopped working too. See if that's the problem, because according to what I saw in other videos, that might be the problem. Right, Fahrenheit's make it sound much worse, doesn't it? Yeah, I love this little iron. When I stopped using the big one, I depended on this one more, and I thought, I really do like this little iron. I just keep a container of water nearby. Plus, this is the master bedroom, so I have the bathroom right on the other side of the wall-ish. And I just go over there and fill up my little cup again. The cup is from the big Oliso iron, but I used to just keep a water bottle. Not a bottle of water, but a water bottle, and I would just fill that up with water, especially one of the ones with the little squirt top in it. And then I could just refill that. When I was at my house, I would refill that and use that to fill up the iron. It's very convenient that way. I have so many fun projects I want to work on, that as I'm sitting here, all I can think about is the next 3 projects I'd like to work on, the next 4 videos, and what I'm going to do with my patrons. Plus, I ordered more beads, and I made more keychains, and then I ordered more beads so I can make more keychains. So if anyone was interested, I do have the beaded keychains in the shop. I bought these little, I got the smaller, the ones that are small were too small, and the ones that are big are too big. But I have, that's really hard to see. But I put them all in the shop that I've already made. I made a bunch more. I think I have 17 in the shop. So some of the beads have fun little things inside them. So I have all of these done. They're ready in the shop if anyone's interested. Then I picked up another container of beads. So I've been working on these at night because it's just a fun project to wind down with until I can decide what I want to do with the smaller beads that I already own. I want to buy like a cord or something. Maybe I'll just do the paracord and see if I can get all of that so that the beads, it becomes sturdy for a keychain versus like a beaded bookmark or something that doesn't need to be as sturdy, if that makes sense. See if I'm going to trip over this cord. Thanks, Laura. The Oliso says in the directions in the box and on the website that not to use distilled water at all in it, because that used to be the common thing they tell you to do is put distilled water in it. I bought the big iron purposefully because it said it had a filter on the inside to keep the calcium deposits from building up. I bought it when we moved here to Arizona last year at the end of February. I think I got one of them at home and one of them in Florida and one of them here. I think it was either the big one or the little one. I don't remember. I had to wait for it. I might have gotten them both here. So they're only a year and a half old, if that. So I was a little disappointed that it's having issues already. So if I can't figure it out, I'm going to have to email them and see if they can help me figure it out. It could be a defect in the manufacturing or it could be a defect in Robin. I'm kind of thinking it might be in Robin. Oh, yeah, Kathy, I've done that before. My problem is I misplaced my journals. Hi, Giovanna. Wow. I go really high tech, Jody. I have a washcloth from Walmart that I spray water onto the washcloth and then I iron the washcloth and it cleans the sole plate. Because I don't use very much of the like the heat and bond fusible stuff, I'm usually just getting something stuck on it. Some fabrics will have something on it, or maybe my spray basting, or I might get a little fusible interfacing, or the, what's it called? Fusible fleece. I had to look on the shelf to see what it's called. I just get a little something on it. It gets like a film or stickiness, so it's not bad. I keep my irons really clean. I have a special one that I use for the heat and bond stuff. I use that one with the really small palm one you can get on Amazon that doesn't have holes in the bottom and stuff like that. Arizona might. I don't know. I mean, we drink the water and it tastes pretty good, but who knows? I do have a defect in Robin, probably. Like, Robin, it'd be easy, just press this button. I'm like, okay. Oh, or they'll say, some places will say, did you know you're supposed to clean it, every so often or something, or you have to turn your phone off and on every now and then is what it used to be in the past. I'm like, no, how am I supposed to know that if nobody tells me it's not in the directions? We're on city water, so I'm not really sure. Jody, are you saying my bathroom water is not good and clean? Come on. I'm just going to cut a few more and then we'll start sewing. How could bathroom faucet water not be good? We were all raised on that. I just haven't had luck. I had a $5 iron from Walgreens for years and years and years and years. Never a problem. When I finally started actually doing a lot of quilting and ironing and stuff, After a few years, it finally died, and I've just never been able to get a good iron since. It's just been one of those things. You know how it is. Manufacturing stuff changes, and not everything's good. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, yes, I've done that. I don't have to, my sole plate's not that much of a problem. Mostly I end up cleaning my sole plate because I turn the iron on and it spits all that white calcium deposits out all over the iron. So then I have to clean the sole plate. That's the biggest reason I end up cleaning anything, is because of that, which is a little frustrating. All right, last one, and then we're going to start sewing them in groups of 2. I'm going to take my pile and fluff it up and make a mess here on the desk and let everything just, oh, I don't think I have that in there. Let everything just be kind of random. I'm just trimming off the ends to make them even, and then cutting. I'm going to put 2 of these in because I like fabric with stars on it. This one may have been from my stash. I don't recall. Doesn't really matter though, does it? And my favorite thing, I had to take out the trash last week, and my trash can has made me very sad because it was empty. I like it now because it has all the fun colors in it. I can't see into my trash can when it's sitting on my table because that's where I keep it. I have that little ironing table right over there, or a table for ironing, and I can't see in it, but when I throw stuff in it, I do, and it makes me happy when I see colorful stuff. All right, so let's reach in front. I'll leave you there for now. I have to take my shoes off. I keep the slide-on shoes near the table, so when I stand a lot and cut and press, I put the shoes on, and then when I come and sew, I don't. I don't know, Susan. We had a lot of hard water in Southwest Florida. Might have added fluoride and stuff, and iron. Might not want white teeth. Yeah, you have to be careful because, oh, thanks, Giovanna. Ha ha ha. Thankfully, my feet don't smell. I check my shoes periodically to make sure they don't smell, and they just kind of smell like shoes. Not fresh leather, but just shoes. When we lived in Connecticut as kids, we used to have to get fluoride treatment every 6 months or once a year or whatever. We moved to Florida, and I was 13, and I didn't have to do fluoride treatments anymore. And when my kids were younger, they didn't do fluoride because Florida does put fluoride in the water, but I heard they were stopping doing that when we were there. They were talking about it. I don't know how true it is or when it happened, because they're always like, in the next 5 years, we're going to do this. So I'm just separating each piece, and I'm really going to annoy some of you by just making a huge pile, and then I'm going to shake it up. People ask me, how can you do scrap and how can you randomly do things? Well, this is how I do it. I just make a big pile, and I do this, and I put them together. And if 2 colors touch, then 2 colors touch. I'm going to make the columns, the 7 columns, and I'll move them around until I like the way they look. And really, it's going to be underneath the sewing machine, so it's not even going to matter. Smell-o-vision, right? Oh, I don't know. I don't remember that far back if we learned anything about that. That was a long time ago. That was the 80s. We moved to Florida in 82. And we moved away from Florida in 24. I did start off because I learned online, and I tried to listen when people are supposed to know more than me. Like, if you've been quilting for 20 years, you know, you should know a lot of things. You know, I expect you to be a leader and to guide me. And when they say put everything in a brown paper bag and shake it up and pull the fabrics out, I did that a lot. And I thought you had to have a, I'm a very literal person. If you tell me a brown paper bag, it's a brown paper bag. But then as I got older, I learned that I could put it in like a laundry basket or something. It doesn't have to be a brown paper bag. That's just so you can't see in it. And then I just figured, whatever. Now I learned just make it up as you go. That's what most people are doing anyway. I knew a lot of people that talked very firmly, like my husband and my father. So we kind of like believed whatever they said because they said it so firmly, so it sounded like they knew what they were talking about. But then unfortunately they invented the internet, and my husband would say something and my kids would whip out their phone and look it up, and they were like, no, you're wrong, see? Yeah, that's a hard day for people like that. Yeah, we have a filter on the fridge, but to be honest, it's the same filter from when we moved in, so no idea, you know, if and when it's ever been changed. Just by looking at it, I'm pretty sure it's been in there for quite a while. But we don't drink out of when you open it's the really neatest thing. I think I showed it once in a video. You open the refrigerator door, and in the wall is a little spout that you can get water from. Nope, look, another ad. All right. Now, I am going to grab from this pile, and if I grab two similar fabrics or two same fabrics or two similar colors, I'll decide if I want to put them together. Like, I don't mind putting two reds or two pinks together. I'm a little bit limited because I can see a lot of pinks in here, which I'm fine with. Again, come in, I'm live. Dude. Oh, you know we can ignore this. It's not real.
Yeah.
But they said they only do this. People were talking online. 1 second, guys, not to be rude. People were talking in the surprise group, and they said be prepared because they're going to start coming out again. They only put them out during the summer when it's the locals and the tourists are gone. So,
Yeah.
was that on Robbie's car?
Yep, so I'll let you know.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So we're in an HOA, but not a gated community, so the city owns our streets, but we have some type of a service that drives around and catches violations, and they tow unwanted vehicles. And if your car is parked on the side of the road for more than 18 hours or a day or something like that, you get a warning violation. They put these big orange placards on it. I dealt with it a lot last year. We got 3. I'm the kind of one that caused a lot of problems for the neighborhood, I'm pretty sure, because I fought it. I'm like, you say on there that, you know, you could tow my car? I said, you don't threaten me like that when you have no right. It's a public road. And I had the first guy I talked to, he's like, yeah, no, we checked, it's a public road. The security people that drive around are just a little exuberant. And I'm in some of the Facebook groups for Surprise Arizona, and they all like to chatter and gossip and stuff, so I go ahead and watch what's going on. And they said summertime's coming, so the security people are going to start complaining and putting the warnings out on the cars. They don't do it during the winter because that's when all the snowbirds and tourists are here, and they don't want to make them mad. Well, hello from Phoenix. Do you have a light that shows when they replace the filter? I'm sure we might have something too, but that doesn't mean we replace the filter. Natural fluoride. I don't know. I put flavoring packet in, but I've had the straight water before, and it's not a bad thing. It's fine. It comes cold out of the refrigerator too, which is nice. The kids are having to pay attention to what they drink now, because not only are they feeling the effects of the sun beating down on them and how hot it is here, but it's also starting to show up at the blood work with their doctors and stuff. Let me move you guys a little higher up just to make sure. Sorry, I'm touching the mic. My apologies. I know not what I do. HOAs, yeah, they're a little hard here. I don't mind following the rules, but I'm really one that says if I have to follow the rules, you better be complaining about everyone else and not just me because I called and complained about the little stickers on the cars or because my license plate says Florida or something like that, you know. And a lot of places here in Arizona, they specifically don't like people from California. I think I'm going to put something with the pink all the time because there's so much pink. That way I don't end up with a bunch of pink at the end, though I do have more strips to cut. I know Arizona definitely doesn't like the fact that California people have come over. They don't say too much to us from Florida because they think we're crazy for driving across the state and moving from Florida to Arizona. It is what it is. Yeah, you can only fit 2 cars in the driveway, possibly 3 if we kind of park weird. But we have big city electrical and cable boxes and stuff in the front yard by the driveway. They said if we didn't have room in the driveway, that we would have to put in a special parking lot, a paved parking lot in our front yard or something. I'm like, dude, I'm renting a house. I'm not putting anything in. Give me a break. But it's just a thing. I think they just try to scare people, and if they move, great, the car, and if they don't, oh well. No HOAs, they're getting really prevalent everywhere here. I don't know the area well enough to say there's nowhere you can live here that's not an HOA, but listening to the people talk, it's really hard to find a place here that doesn't have HOAs in Surprise, because Surprise used to be a farmland from what I understand, and I could be wrong, I've only been here a year plus, I'm just making things up as I go, but it used to be Surprise Farms and stuff, so now there's a community called Surprise Farms, but there was a lot of farms here, and when the farms just didn't farm anymore, they started to bring houses in, so everything's in these little self-contained communities. You have, some of them are just, they have a sign out front that says, this is Robin LaLone, estates or something like that. So you'll see that there. And then other ones have big cement walls all around it. Now those are those really hardcore HOAs that you have to go through, you have to like live there to go there, and they don't like you there if you're not. Some of them have gates, some don't. Everyone's very gated off, and there's cement walls all around the backyard. In Florida, you might have chain link fences, and they started putting up those white plastic fences. But most of the houses, you can just look and see into your neighbor's backyard. I mean, I see now these are a little close. The hues are a little close. I'll choose not to do them, but if I had to, it's not a big deal. Do they come out at night and scare people? They usually ticket at night. So my oldest, Justin, just came back from shopping, and he pulled the little placard. I call it a sticker, but it doesn't stick. It's just a cardboard piece on the windshield. It's my youngest son, Robbie's car, and he hasn't been outside yet. So they usually come through at night. I noticed a lot of time the ticketed things we get, say, somewhere between 11 p.m. and midnight. Now, the leader of the HOA, I think his name is Dan, not that it matters, but Dan, he likes to come driving through the neighborhood at 11 a.m. because he takes pictures of the house and everything we do wrong. Some of the workers that come here and the neighbors, they told me that the HOAs will go after the houses once they know that it's a rental house, because they know that the person that owns the house or the company will do anything they want so that they don't get any kind of fines or anything. You keep getting bumped off. Oh no. Oh yeah, we had weeds. We've gotten in trouble in Florida too if you have weeds against the side of your house or against a fenced-in area that are a certain height. They will give you a warning for it. And that's just from the city. The city of Cape Coral in Florida has a lot of ordinances. So going from there to an HOA, I'm like, it's going to be fine. It's not a problem. No, the HOAs are more annoying than the city of Cape Coral, and I never knew I would ever say that. We did have some people when we first moved in, they would walk around the neighborhood, and anytime I was doing something outside, they're like, "Oh, so happy to see you working in your yard. So happy to see you pulling the weeds. Oh, you're doing a great job mowing." And I'm like, "Dude, you've been walking around every time I'm outside, you've been doing laps just around this neighborhood." And I get it, a lot of people do that, but we have these beautiful walking paths all through the back of the neighborhood. You don't need to keep passing by my house. The house across the street has this front area like ours with grass area that's supposed to be grass, but there's like a lot of weeds and stuff like that and dirt patches. And when ours look like that, oh man, we got in all kinds of trouble. Theirs has looked like that for over a year, and there's like 4 houses here that are like that. So I'm like, okay, I'll fix it because it does look bad and it looks nicer with the grass. I just don't know how to grow grass in Arizona. It took me a little bit to figure it out. Now we've got gorgeous grass. Yeah, city camping, that gets people in trouble in a lot of places. Yeah, we're weird. But we're weirder now than we used to be, Giovanna. We're in a weird phase of reality right now of life. People are different all around the world, and things have changed a lot. And it's a weird power thing right now as things are they'll start changing and stuff. And I'm thinking the kids that are being born now, I think that's the generation that's going to change a lot of things and bring it back to a little bit of a normaler situation. It's like when kids first graduate from high school and move out for the first time and go to college and they get all wild and crazy and then settle down. I feel like the world is just a little wild and crazy right now. And hopefully it'll settle down. But that's all we can hope right now. Oh yeah, when we go to, my daughter's planning on buying a house. So when we go to buy a house, it's going to be different. We just moved here from Florida, sight unseen. We went with the rental company that the kids were renting from in Florida for a few years. I think 2 years they were with them. So we knew it's an actual rental company. They exist. And, you know, you're not going to get scammed and drive cross country and lose thousands of dollars and not have a home to be in when you get there. So we just know and went with that. And then now once we start to know the area, I don't know if we'll actually live in Surprise. It's a bit expensive here. The rents are higher here and stuff. So we'll probably go to somewhere just outskirts and see what they have there. The rent drops $500 if you go 5 miles from here, $500 a month. And that's a big deal. Especially when, I don't know if this is too short or the other one's too long. With the cost of electricity, the other one's too long. That's good. You know, electricity is really expensive. Taxes are expensive. There's state taxes here. It's a lot to get used to. But people move to Florida and they have to get used to new things too. Certain kinds of weeds are good. Stupid little yellow flowers we get in the front yard. When the flowers, they're just these little tiny yellow flowers, and when the flowers die off, they drop to the ground and then they stick to your socks. And you track them in the house and everything. Those I definitely pull. Not now because I don't touch anything in that yard. It's trying to kill me. Yeah, it's crazy. To rent houses here, I mean, you can get some of them for a little bit less, like a 3-bedroom for $1,700. But on average, it's about $2,200 a month, and then you have to start adding in all the different fees and stuff like that. Especially if you're in a true HOA, then there are HOA fees, and some of them are $500 a month. That's crazy. $500 a month to get yelled at all the time. Like, No, thank you. But that's why I come over here and I use my sewing machine and I make pretty things and I sew with scraps. That might have cost money at one point, but technically it's free now, right? I know it has value when it goes into an item to be sold, but if we're just sewing something for ourselves, all this fabric was already paid for. So it does cost something, of course. But while I'm sewing this is leftovers from someone else's leftovers. I already made a quilt for a full-size bed. And I'm going to make a quilt for my sewing machine. And I still have all that left over. I mean, hey, what more could you want? I might need to bring some white fabrics into it to just give it a little bit more of a contrast and stuff. But I'm enjoying it. I have been getting used to the beauty of Arizona. It's not quite in your face. You do have to look for some of it. The saguaro cactus have been blooming. I like that strawberry season over. Strawberry season in Florida is February. And after like March, the chances of getting some really good strawberries and stuff diminishes a little. But strawberry season, I don't know exactly when it is, but we're getting really good strawberries right now. And it just, I thought Florida and Arizona would be really similar because you get sunflowers in the fall, right? Most states you get sunflowers in the autumn. Sunflowers here, their big season is the month of May. You still have some in June and stuff, but they start to go away then. So I thought it's kind of interesting. I really honestly thought a tropical area would be similar to a desert area. Just in the fact of it's hot in the summer here, it's hot in the summer there, that more things would grow in the fall. But you guys you grow things in the summertime here too, I see. No, not the beauty of beige and stuff like that. But there are these bushes that we have in the backyard, and when I walked to the blue mailbox to mail packages the other day, they have these purple flowers that shoot straight up, and it just fills the bush. It's not just the little flowers here or there. They're like on a whole stem, and the flowers go all the way down, and they shoot up perfectly straight. Now, we don't get rain here. You know, you get rain like what, maybe 5 times a year, if that. So we haven't had rain in a long time, and everything still blooms. So you get these pops of color here and there. But you do have to look for it, Jody. It doesn't just, you can't, when I look out the front door, it's just brown everywhere. And I can't see because we have a brown wall in the backyard. So I can't see that beautiful path behind us when they have the different yellow and orange flowers popping up and stuff. We have these flowers that are blooming right now on the bushes out front. I think they must be some type of a wildflower because they spread crazy everywhere. But they're purple with a pink and yellow center to them. It's really pretty. No, you're not going to get a nice view here stuck in traffic. Not in the city. Maybe in some of the outskirts and stuff. Now, the trains that come through, someone puts all kinds of really nice graffiti on the sides of them and everything. It's really pretty. And, you might see a house as you go by, but everyone's kind of like tucked away in their own little area. And you just kind of see buildings with graffiti. Going into Phoenix, when we go to the airport, the way we drove, they had a whole bunch of tires on the side of the road to keep cars from getting drunk and going off the road and hitting the bars and businesses and stuff there. but they painted all of the tires with some type, an artist came through and painted them. So even though it's car tires that 3/4 of them are sticking up from the ground, they're painted and they look really pretty. So there are things to see. Amy. Thought it was, why did I think you were Becky? I apologize if I've called you Becky in the past. I thought it was Seguero. Well, how do you say it without the G? I really thought it was Seguero, like in a Spanish roll your R's kind of G, Seguero. I don't know if I can say that without a G. I don't think I can't say that without a G. I'll just be that weird person from Florida that doesn't know how to say any of the words here. Because I used to live in Florida and I could say all those words. I was hoping, Indians in Florida, Indians in Arizona, that it might have some similar words that I could say. I can't even say half the street names here. Saguaro? Seguero? Huh. Well, I think there's a group of people that say it wrong with me then. They did pave our roads recently. We had a whole bunch of cracks in them, and they came through and put that black asphalt tarry stuff down, and they filled all the cracks and made the roads look terrible. And since I haven't found a news station that I enjoy listening to, I didn't know they were tarring the roads all over the city. So they came and they tarred the entire road a week or so ago. The problem is they did it on the hottest days of the year. And the top layer of the road, it kind of melts and gets mushy like. And like all up and down our sidewalk and our driveway, which is just cement, you can see these like black footprints where one of the boys had walked through. It's Robbie. We'll just say it's Robbie. Walked from the road around the car and stuff, and the tar had melted enough, not like liquidy or anything, but just enough to leave his footprints everywhere. Yay. Oh, I know Bays is Becky. I just kind of thought both of you were Becky. Welcome, welcome. We are live. I remembered to come live. Oh yeah, they changed, yeah, a lot from it's especially here in the US and stuff. You definitely get, and then when people move from state to state and then they kind of like change it, they merge Florida and Arizona into a dialect. I still have a Boston, New York, Connecticut accent that pops through every now and then, even after living in Florida for over 40 years. Y'all agree to say Seattle? What? Something in Seattle? Oh yeah, I buy white a lot. Yes, I buy 5 yards of it. I like to buy white on white and buy 5 yards of each different white on white so that I have a variety to choose from. That, black and gray, those are the only ones that I buy in large quantities. Everything else I just buy quarter yard or yard. I think we're all just making things up as we go. I've even gone online and had them pronounce things for me, and if you go to different places, it all pronounces it different too. So I'm like, how am I supposed to know this? And some of the people here have a really thick accent, so I just kind of smile and nod and say thank you, because I have no idea what they're saying. I think I'm going to take a pause on sewing for a minute, and then we're going to go ahead and press a little because we've been sewing for a bit. And it's good to switch things up. Let me put my shoes on and get my cutter, and then we'll change over. Missouri Star has a sale on Kona right now. Yeah, I don't know. I think we just make things up as we go, right? Politics are hard. You know what it is, Jody, is we've reached the age that we heard the stories from our parents and grandparents. We're experiencing the life now. So we see, like, this neighborhood right here is the most affluent neighborhood. It's really rich. It's got culture. People have money. They have pride. Then all of a sudden, everyone moved over here. So this neighborhood got downtrodden. The drugs came in. It's really bad. There's no grocery stores or anything, and it's dangerous. But all of a sudden, the people who can't afford to live here anymore come back here, and they're like, oh, this used to be a beautiful town. Let's make it beautiful again. And then it comes back again. So the same town has those ups and downs. You never, old bones. You never really know. You know, they say if you don't like the weather, wait a while, it'll change. Some people say they just stay in their homes like their family lived in the home. They're not leaving because they know if they wait long enough, it's going to come back again. The value of the houses will come back up, and their grandchildren, great-grandchildren, or whoever will have a home that's a nice home in a beautiful place that's affordable. Hi, Laura. Yeah, time for a new sewing mat. I think it's a good way to refresh things. You can use your favorite fabrics, leftover quilt blocks, because you have the front and the back. So if you make it two-sided, I think I'm just going to put a plain fabric on the back. You make it two-sided, and then you can flip it over whenever you want. Mine is ugly blue flowers that I was trying to use up. That was because I didn't think I deserved to use a good fabric on the back and waste it on myself. But if you make them scrappy on both sides, I couldn't decide between string blocks. I was going to take the whole piece. I even cut out a giant piece of batting, and I was just going to do the quilt as you go with long string blocks and sew them together if I needed to. But I decided I didn't want to do that. I wanted more color. When I look over here, I wanted the mat to just make me smile. Blender fabrics, love those. Yeah, everyone's been ordering Michaels online. They said they've been getting some really nice fabrics from what I heard. I don't need to. I went into my Michaels to see what they had. I don't actually need to purchase fabric right now. I just wanted to see, what they had and stuff. All right, excuse me. I need to bring over the iron. Wake up, wake up, wake up. But it's nice to hear that they're going to have some nice fabrics. They're really talking big, Michael, so we'll see. I miss AC Moore. I really like to go to AC Moore. They had a little bit of everything. Their prices were great. I could get yarn and fabric there. So I'm just going to press these to any side that I feel like. Pretty much whatever's on top is what's going to the side. Set my seams so that the stitches settle down into the fabric. And then I we'll at least sew one row together today. I don't expect this to get done anytime soon. I might not work on it again until, when's our next live in July? We have a live stream on July 5th. Nice. I don't expect too many people to be hanging out because that's 4th of July weekend, but we'll see. I don't mind hanging out with just a handful of you guys. They can always watch the replay. I didn't get to go to Hancock's too much. I went a little bit, but it was in the next town over in Florida, and it was like I was on one side of town and they were on the opposite side, so it was a really far distance. I didn't really feel like traveling 45 minutes or an hour to the next town over just to buy stuff. Plus, I wasn't crafting that much. I was mostly doing little things, cross-stitching, simple stuff. I didn't really get into a lot of this yet. Yeah, someone sent me a message recently. They said they went to their Michaels and talked to the person that was doing the cutting and stuff in the fabric department. And I guess they just oh, well, there's salvage on that one. Maybe I'll pay attention and trim it off, and if not, it's not a big deal. And they ended up just getting a bag of fabric of like offcuts that they were just going to throw away. I don't know exactly what she got. It was like scraps, but might be something to look into. You'll be there to bug me, Giovanna? Yeah, I want to, as a priority over this, because I have a sewing mat, is to get the log cabin quilt as a quilt top. And then I'll need to figure out what I'm going to do for the backing. It'll be pieced. I don't plan on purchasing fabric. I'll find stuff here. It doesn't have to be the greatest. It's good quality, and I want it to be something I like that works with the front. But I don't care if I take like a whole bunch of 10, 12, 15-inch squares or whatever and sew them together. I don't need to have one full piece of fabric. That project's going to take a while. I also I want to make a quilt top just for the top of my bed, one that the cats can lay on. I'm trying to decide if I want to just make a full-on quilt with the fabric, the batting, and the backing, or if I want to I'm thinking, can I get away with just doing a quilt top with a pieced back and then just quilt it with nothing on the inside? Because if I have to wash it constantly because of the cat fur, or, they tend to vomit on the bed and stuff, can I just do that so it goes through the washer easily? Because I'm not going to lay under it or anything. It's just going to be like a duvet cover to look nice, not to... I've made tablecloths with just 2 pieces of fabric, 2 layers of fabric, but I haven't made a quilt. Let me play catch up with the chat. Yes, there's quilt shops here. My daughter's been borrowing my car. She's going to be borrowing my car probably till she buys one in September. And then at that point, I want to start venturing out. It took me a while to settle in here, to kind of get my head on straight and figure out life. So I do want to go to those quilt shops and make some friends there. And I want to see, the one that I'm going to go to is the one that has the nicest people there that don't look at me like I'm crazy. And that allow me to get, not all quilt shops will allow you to get like quarter yard cuts, or can I just get 10 inches of this? Or, people who, some of them will have like a scrap basket, and if the prices are reasonable. I also want to find fabric that not everyone has the same fabric. I want to find, oh, this must be Robin's fabric. She got it from Arizona, and not every shop on Etsy is selling it, There's a few thrift stores I want to try too that I heard they are good. One of our Michael's got a bunch of fabric in the store. She said, even have cutting station. Wow, you have to go to the framing. Oh, darn it. You have to go to the framing area here to get your fabric cut. I sewed them right side to wrong side, and I don't want to look at it all the time. I don't care if I'd already sewn everything together, but if I can catch it now, I'd rather catch it now. The thing is the one side just looks faded and the other side is nice and sharp, so I didn't catch it. I'll show you. So I sewed these so that this was the right side when it's actually that side. And I like that fabric, so I want to have it properly shown. Doesn't take long to seam rip. Oh, classes and stuff at Hancock's, yeah. You don't get much classes now for places. Because it used to get like free classes, or you just go in $5. There was one quilt shop where I lived in Florida. And they used to have like a $5, you can go in and sew all day. But I never went. I kind of wanted to just go in and hang out with people and like knit all day or cut scraps all day. I didn't want to like trudge my sewing machine. But they were kind of older women that were a bit set in their way, and they were in their own little group and their thing. This one needs to be trimmed on that side. I'll set it over there. It's kind of hard sometimes to, I'm not like young, but I'm younger. I'm younger than the 65 and older group, and they don't always want someone new coming in. and bothering Ren. Do I need you to drive me around? No, Jody. You'd melt anyway. And you might not make it with all the brown here. Brown on brown on brown. I mean, I get it. We have a fire pit that was given to my daughter, and it had a black cover on it, and it sat out covered for the winter and now into the summer. I think I covered it maybe around February or something, and it's a very light gray colored cover now. It faded that much, that quickly from the sun here. Oh, hi, Sue. Well, that's nice when they come over and visit. See the newlyweds. I think I missed something, but, oh, because Giovanna's a big bug. Got it, because you're going to bug me. Got it. Reading comments, just catching up. Okay, I have to write that down. Let me see. I know basically if I'm just going to get on Bell and go east, and there's a lot of places along there, because I search for quilt shops. I really wish they had a bead shop, though. I would love for a bead shop, but I think they all went away. The Quilted Country Bear. I think that's one of the ones I did see. That name sounds familiar. If I start talking and writing, I will write the same thing I do. 59th Avenue and Greenway. Hey, I know where Greenway is. It's just outside the house. QT parking lot. By the way, QT is a gas station for anyone who is curious. And Greenway is, if I went out to the main road of this neighborhood and I just looked to the left, Greenway is right there. It's like 2 roads down. It was funny because when we first moved here, it looked like it was 5 miles away. And now that I'm used to where I'm going and I can kind of find my way around here, it's like, it's just right there. And I could see the light from here. It's not that far. It's funny how that works. They have a new Goodwill opened on somewhere like Bell and Cotton and some numbered road, like 153rd or 72nd or so. Oh, there's an ad. Oh, look, it's an Arizona ad. Nice. So I want to go check out that new Goodwill. It's opening, I think it's opening the 26th. And my daughter has a day off. And like the first 100 people in, blah, blah, blah. I don't think I'll be the first 100 people in to get a gift bag. That's just crazy. Ooh. Oh, your newlyweds are cute and funny? I mean, they've been together for how many years? When just get married and you automatically become a newlywed and you're silly. There's someone here that dyes yarn. I have to remember who it is. There's 2 people that I follow on Instagram that I didn't know lived in Arizona, but now they have like craft meetups, and I can't remember which one it is. I'll have to see the next time they do a meetup, where they just go to like a Starbucks or something and they just hang out, and you can go and hang out and knit or do whatever. I like to go places and knit or crochet because I only need to bring the yarn and the hook or needles in a bag. I don't have to worry about a whole project. I always have a project ready to just grab and go. So it's really quick and easy to do at the spur of the moment. I always have to wait and see, do I have a headache today? Am I super tired? Am I in a lot of pain? Am I making videos today? It's hard for me to schedule things advanced. I can do spur of the moment a lot, but unfortunately I don't have a car right now. So the spur of the moment's a little hard because my daughter was working 9 to 6, Monday through Friday, and then she was working Saturday 9 to 12, and Sunday she had to go out and do grocery shopping, and then she has, people she hangs out with, and I'm like, well, I don't have a life outside of this room anyway, so I'm fine. I didn't realize how much I leave the house when I haven't had my car since like February. It adds up. I know I go to a doctor every month and I go to the pharmacy for my prescriptions every month. So if I do them on the same day, then I'm good. And otherwise, like I go to the post office, I have my groceries delivered. So I don't need to leave the house that much. But every morning I wake up and I'm like, oh no, I can't do that. I watch. You guys remember this because when my daughter buys a truck and I have my car back or my van back, you'll be like, hey, Robin, you going out anywhere? I'm like, nah, I haven't left the house in 3 weeks. Because now that I have a car, I don't need to go anywhere. Isn't that how it always works? Oh, that's hard, Kathy. I've been doing pretty good sometimes just going to a Goodwill to get some fabrics. But the Goodwills, one of them is a little bit rich, and they charge the same amount for fabric as Joann's. So okay, I get that it's brand new fabric, but I don't feel like I should pay full retail price for something that's at a thrift store. There should be a little bit, I gotta take my shoes off, a little bit of a savings, you know. I'm not asking for a $5 item to go down to a quarter, because it would be nice, but you know, I've seen things from the Dollar Tree knowing that I've bought them at the Dollar Tree and they're charging $4 for them at Goodwill. And this was when the Dollar Tree was $1. And that's just crazy. Yeah, but Uber, you gotta start. I thought about it if I need to. I've never Ubered before, so I'd be very nervous to do it, but I could do it. I'm a big girl. I can Uber. But I don't need to Uber just to, you know, go somewhere. I don't have to go places. It's more of a, I kind of want to go today. I feel good. I don't have a headache. The pain level's down to like a 2 or nothing. I slept last night. My stomach feels good. All right, I'm not going to waste this good day. You know, I can sew when I don't feel good. So let me go out and do something. But where am I going to go? And do I really need to spend more money? I don't need to buy more fabric. I already looked, and there's no bead shops. I have this thing, you know, a lot of people like to collect different things. I love to collect beads and work with beads and stuff. I had to buy more beads because the keychains that I'm making have big holes in them. In the center of the bead, you need a big hole. And all of my beads are smaller. But boy, if I could, come on. If I could find like a bead shop or something better than like a Michael's or Joann's, I'd be there in an instant. I'd be there every week. Okay, here's my $10 budget. Let's go. Let's go, let's go. Yeah, it's just knowing you can go somewhere, right, Sue? Because I can't eat out. I can't eat at restaurants or anything like that. Right, exactly. You don't, you know, you have the car knowing that you could go somewhere if you wanted to. I honestly don't mind. My bigger problem is my daughter and I share a bathroom, so the boys have a bathroom and we have a bathroom. It just works out easier that way, 2 boys and 2 girls. So my daughter has to shower for work. I can shower whenever. So I wait thinking I don't want to be in the shower when she needs it. So I end up waiting 4 hours. Because you know, as soon as you get in the shower, that's when someone's going to need it and they have to do it right now because they're leaving in 20 minutes. Me, I'm like, I'll shower whenever. I don't want to talk to you, Giovanna. There's a bead shop in Phoenix? You know I'll drive an hour to go to Phoenix for a bead shop. Because I don't have to go every week. I'll make a plan. Save my money. Sell some things on Etsy. Spend it on beads. I think that works out fine. Yeah, I find that here in this house, I don't go outside. There's nothing to really take care of in the yard. Plus, now that I'm allergic to the yard. All right, I'm just going to start taking these and putting 2 of them together. And I'm going to try not to alternate pinks. I think most of them have a pink. So I guess I'm going to end up alternating pinks. That's not a good plan, Robin. Maybe I'll add one of these onto them and make them in groups of 3. I can do that. I can do whatever I want. It's my project. In Florida, I would go outside and I would putter and I'd do a little bit of this and that, you know, and just take care of some things and whatnot. but I don't do that here. So I find myself never going outside. So sometimes it's a process to go out. I know, call me lazy, but it's a process to go out the sliding glass door. So I have to go from here to the kitchen area, no big deal. You have to open the blinds, unlock this lock, unlock that lock, open the sliding glass door, go outside for 5 minutes, come back in, lock, and close the blinds. Because if you don't have your blinds closed here, your electric's going to run nonstop. It's easier just to open the front door and go outside. So I go outside and I just stand outside in the sun and get warm and watch the world go by. Thankfully, we live in the boringest neighborhood around. Nothing really happens here. Knock on wood. People aren't out and about. You know, most people are inside the house in the summer. You don't see kids or anything like that. So I just watch the birds because we have a lot of stupid pigeons. The quails had babies. So there's a bunch of little babies running around. Try Rock and Gem Shops. Oh, not a name, just to go check out Rock and Gem Shops. So just by searching Google for bead shops, I need to try Rock and Gem Shops. Rock and Gem Shops for beads, because Jody knows everything. Jody knows everything. Not being sarcastic. Jody knows where all that fun stuff is. Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree's been having a lot of beads and stuff like that, and a lot of sewing things in there. The people that were making beaded keychains, because you know when I get into a craft like that, I watch all the videos, and a lot of people are going and getting supplies at Dollar Tree because they're just as good as anywhere else and the prices are good. But I haven't found my Dollar Tree here. It's like, do you need cleaning supplies? Well, go to this Dollar Tree. Do you need craft supplies? Well, good luck, because you're probably not going to find any. Storage supplies, you go to the other one. I knew at my house in Florida that I was 100% spoiled. Okay, now this purple, this is the back of it, and this is fine. And this is the way it looks on the front. So this one you can use either side. I know I need to get vitamin D. I actually take vitamin D because I don't get enough. I don't have a bike. I haven't biked in years. I'm pretty sure I'd fall off a bike and I would die of heat exhaustion and I would have a fried brain if I tried to do that, at least during the summer here. It's not safe to drive in a car here. I'm not really sure how safe it would be on a bike. They do have a lot of really nice wide sidewalks for people to walk on and stuff. So it is really kind of nice. There's a whole bunch of little parks. Definitely, like my son drives to Peoria. For those of you guys that know, he goes to the Arrowhead Mall, and he walks around there because he likes to do Pokemon stuff. That's his quilting addiction. He goes to do Pokemon things. And so he'll go to those places. There aren't, like, every neighborhood here has a little tiny park that you could go to, or a walking path. Up the road, about a quarter of a mile, there's a little neighborhood park with a slide and all of that stuff. Oh, the City of Surprise at City Hall. They have a gorgeous park with the pavilions and a lake and everything. I found that this past winter. So I think I'd like to go there in the winter and just sit down and do some knitting, because I do have some time during the week, and it's what, 1.5 miles, 2 miles from the house here. Things are really, we got lucky, they're really centrally located. I just knew that we wanted to be 2 miles from my daughter's work so she can get there. As a general manager, she needs to get there quick, like on her days off and stuff. So we tried to find a house that was close to that. And after that, we figured in a year, if we had to, we could move and find somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the Chinese shops. They're starting to bring them over here. is it the Deo shops or whatever? They're like Dollar Tree Extreme. Oh, your daughter's into gems. I'd like to do gems that you can wrap around some of the smaller gems and stuff, and even some of the geodes. You can like drill holes in them and turn them into charms and things. I like those bookmarks that hang over the spine with all of the beads and stuff like that. And of course, it wouldn't surprise you for me to say that I like all of the rainbow colorful beads, but I also like the beady charm things that look like, you know, a whole bunch of turtles, but you can string them onto something. I like things like that too. I have to go out early in the morning and do a lot of stuff. When we get past the summer, like it doesn't get below 90 here, 24 hours a day. It's either 100 and teens, 115, 106, somewhere in there. And then it's like 92 in the morning. So if it drops into the 88, 87 overnight, we're lucky. I mean, I'm only going based off, all of you Arizona people could tell me how far off I am, but I'm only going based off of what I've seen in the past year. So things could be completely different. You know, this might just be a weird year. Yeah, that's all I want to do. Just go to the park and hang out. Yep, I don't even have to get out of the car. I'll usually get out because I don't mind talking, say hi, how are you? Chatting with a few people. Oh, your dog is so nice. No, I don't want to pet your dog. I'm not a dog person. Ducks and squirrels hate me, but I like to see the ducks in the pond. They actually go in the water and fish, the people, not the ducks. I don't know what the ducks do, but they fish right in the pond with the little chutes of sprays of water going up and stuff. A lot of kids running around. I like to be people adjacent, you know? I think it's just kind of nice to just be around people, but not have to. Yeah, the wire wrapping, exactly. It's going to get hot. You know, it's going to cool down, though. Now, I enjoy the 90s here. The 90-degree temps aren't bad, and 80s are gorgeous. Where in Florida, you were still sweltering in the 80s and 90s because of the humidity. So I'm going to enjoy it. We were out in like jeans and t-shirts when it was in the 80s and low 90s when we first got here. Now I know our bodies are going to adjust and stuff, but in the winter I'll definitely have to go out during the day when the sun comes up because otherwise I'll be frozen. That's when I'll sit in the car and just be near people. The highs will be in the low hundreds, lows will be in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, because on Tuesday we were talking that the temps are going to be, you know, in the 80s or something here. I don't even remember what I said now. We've talked about a lot of things since then. So it's going to be nice to have that little burst of coolness. All right, so while we're talking random things, I do have a question for everyone after I get a drink. Well, I've heard the gem shows are really nice. You get a lot. It is a little expensive, but you get a lot for the money because you buy it in bulk. Yeah, that's it. The mid-90s, yes. And the overnights are getting, excuse me for a second. The water went the wrong way. I haven't 100% decided if it's going to be this year or next year, but I've decided to change up the Advent series. I mentioned it to my patrons recently. I want to change it up and do something a little different. I have an idea, not a promise, just an idea. I was thinking to do, you know, everyone wants me to do the really quick videos. Not everyone, but there's those people that want the short videos with no talking. They want the 8 or 10 minute videos. I was thinking instead of doing the traditional Advent that I've been doing, that I do some quick tutorials, even if they're tutorials I've already done, but to redo them in a quick fashion so that there's a video every day or so many days a week or whatever. You know, like they do Vlogmas where you do something every day in December. To do something like that, to put up a quick tutorial for quick projects to make. And then if you guys want to see me like open an Advent, we can vote and I can purchase an Advent. I can purchase one expensive Advent, or I can purchase a few inexpensive ones, and they don't even have to be, you know, I can open a beauty one, though I have no need for it. I have to find someone to give the stuff to. But maybe some random one. I've seen like notebooks, handmade notebook ones. I've seen handmade pens. We can do a candy one, just something random that we can still do kind of an Advent thing, but I'm thinking not to do a whole 100% Advent like I've done in the past. What do you guys think? Yeah, Jody, we all have to have some type of hobby. Whatever we spend our money on, if we spend it on fabric or beads, if you don't go to Starbucks, you have all that extra money. I think Jody, you and I, we were talking about that. So, you know, everyone has a little something. Some people buy a bunch of books. I don't buy books because I know most of them I'm not going to read again. Yeah, time to switch it up a little, right? We've been doing it for like 3-4 years or something. I thought maybe we could switch it up and try something new. As it gets closer to, once the Advent, some Advent boxes are already out. Like, is anyone interested in a Missouri Star Advent box? They are coming back out again. They're bringing them back out in July for a short time. So if you wanted one and you didn't get one for finances reasons or whatever, the time wasn't right or you couldn't decide, if you're interested, they're opening it back up, the pre-orders in July. I can't remember if it's like July 1st to the 11th or July 4th to the 15th or something. If you really need to know, you can email me and I have the dates and stuff. But just to let you know, they are coming back out with it. So many people open up a Missouri Star box already, so I don't know if that's something we should do. You know, the first year I buy a Missouri box, that's going to be the year that they're going to be like, oh, Robin, by the way, here's one for free. Thank you for, you know, showing it off or something. That's how it always works for me. No? No, oh, no, you guys don't want one? Are you guys talking about the boxes? That's what I get for putting my head down. Yeah, the Missouri Star one, I'm not, they're better than they were, and I think it all depends on, you know, what you want, what you're looking at. I think it's pretty well known now what's in them, so you can decide. But I thought maybe if someone found a random one that you think is craft related with small quick projects in it, or tools or something that you think everyone will be interested in, I figure it's June. We know enough in advance. You like my boxes, Giovanna? I know, but it feels like it's been the same and the same and the same. And my friend and I are kind of giving each other the same things every year. So I thought maybe we could switch it up a little. So like I said, I don't know what I'm going to do this year. I'll probably still show our Advent boxes this year. And then we'll go from there. We might want to just, you know, keep it private this time and just, I don't know, we'll talk about it, my friend and I, whether we do a handful of gifts or if we want to do Advent every day. I feel like we're kind of getting away from what we had originally planned and stuff. Yeah, like I could make an Advent box, you know, put things together, and then like you guys wouldn't know, it'd be a surprise to you. Even if I were to put, let's say, what is there, 31 days in December? If I were to put 31 items, yarn, candy, fabric, thread, and just wrap it up, I would know what those are, but if I do it in advance, I wouldn't know what's in each package. You know what I'm saying? You know, kind of make your own Advent. Because my friend and I have to ship our packages, and shipping is getting quite a bit expensive too, you know? So we have the cost of the items, and then if it's heavy, then it's going to cost money to send them out. I think I'd rather spend the money on getting something for my friend than giving it to the post office. Oh, no, I thought, all right, just double checking, Becky.
That's what I was thinking, Jody. Do something like, well, let's just say the zipper pouch I just did. I mean, that's not a good example. Let's say bowl cozies, right? I have a lot of bowl cozy videos as I learn different techniques and tips and tricks. I could just do a quick one where you might not see my hands, you might not hear me talk, but very little because I can't be quiet. I mean, I can turn the sound off at least. And just, here's the measurements, here's how you put it together. No tips, no tricks, no nothing. If you need more information, I'll link it back to an older video. I've been wanting to do that in general anyways. I want to put some partial tutorials on Instagram and link it to a longer tutorial over on YouTube. That's about all I can really think of for like social media for me, is to just show different parts of what I'm making and then link it to a video. Because they say if you have videos that are kind of popular and they're from a while ago, that it's a good idea to refresh them and make something new and put out a new one. Post is just crazy, right, Sue? Hey, Lee Allen. Yeah, so I think that's what I might do. I haven't decided yet for this year. For this year, it's either going to be my friend and I, or I might find a fun one to purchase and add a few other things to it. Because there are some that I see people open and I'm like, oh, I kind of like that. I would have liked having that. But I have been tinkering with the idea of just doing quick tutorials, and then I do like the idea of creating my own, and then just like maybe linking to where I bought things from. Like, do I need a new seam ripper? Do I need new scissors? You know, things that I would buy anyways that I can buy throughout the year. Wrap it, because you don't need to see what's in it until I unwrap it. So I don't have to do, this is what I sent my friend, wrap it all up, and then like I can make videos throughout the year and save them. I mean, I can buy things throughout the year, wrap them up, put them in a plastic tub in my closet, of course, where I won't be able to find it at the end of the year. And then it'll really be a surprise because I can't remember what I bought when I went grocery shopping last week. To send a postcard anywhere in the world, I think it was like a $1.12. It might be $1.25 or something now, because I can send a postcard as a letter. So when I send my fabric postcards, I have the international stamps and they're only $1 something. The difference is if I put it in like an envelope and I take it to the post office, or if it's more than 1/4 of an inch thick, then they ship it as a package. And that's when I spend $4, $5, $6, $8 for it. Jody had a good idea. No Missouri Star, they're expensive and they already do it. Like your gift ideas. Thank you. We can start sending you a random tiny raft gifts now, and you could, yeah, Jody, if that's what someone wants to do, you could do that. Even if you wanted to, like I have Prime for Amazon. Even if you wanted to send something small from Amazon, I could wrap it up and I wouldn't remember. I swear I would not remember. I forget everything. Because if it's not important and I don't need to remember it, there's just too much information going in and out of my brain, I just let it go. Because I know when Christmas time comes, I'll unwrap it and I'll remember again and I'll be all excited all over again. But you guys would have to keep it very inexpensive. I don't think anyone should, spend too much money just to ship something to anyone, me or anyone else. Just, we're all buddies and stuff, but we don't want to break the bank. Just some fun little, I think when I'm done sewing these into groups of 3, I'm going to bring out, I bought more of the diamond painting stuff from the Dollar Tree. So I have a couple more little kits that I thought we could play with just to wind down at the end. I knew this wasn't going to be something we were going to finish in today. We can keep working on it during the next live streams though. Yeah, the postage is just super expensive. I think sometimes, like when you're in another country, it helps. I think because the USA is such a big thing, not a big deal, but there's so many of us in such a huge country and we're all online and talking and stuff compared to like Italy or something like that, that it, correct me if I'm just being, all America or something, but is it easier for someone in the UK, etc., to find something online in the US and order directly from the US, let's say, and send it to me, versus me trying to find something to send to like Giovanna or finding something in Germany to send? One, I don't understand. I'd have to translate a lot in German stuff, and I wouldn't know, what to shop, where to shop or anything. But so many people talk about, Dollar Tree and Walmart and stuff. I feel like it might be easier to purchase in the U.S. for a U.S. person versus me trying to ship something internationally. Yeah, you can find a lot of things, even if you go all the way up to like $5, Giovanna. You can find a lot of things, a pack of needles, a spool of thread. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. I found some multi-packs of stuff and everything when I did the Advent last year for the shop, and that's another way that was super expensive. But that way I could split it up, and some of them were like $2 and $5, and some of them were $20. Oh, and remember, I have all of that wrapping paper that I bought, so if you guys ever want to create some type of an advent from my shop, especially in like the mystery bundles, just let me know. I don't mind wrapping. If it's just like one item to wrap, I don't mind wrapping it. If you have a bunch of items, then I might have to put a little add-on wrapping thing like I did for the mystery bundles. But for the most part, I don't mind just like wrapping one thing. I have Christmas wrapping paper. If you need anything else, you're kind of out of luck. Oh, the David's Tea one. Yeah, I saw a lot of those. I do the fruity teas. I don't do caffeine, so I don't do any black tea. I really like the hibiscus ones. €1 a meter? Wow. Giovanna, you always say my machine sounds a little weird. I made sure I cleaned it and everything. I'm sure it needs to have a tune-up, and I just have to find the right place and the time in the car to do it. I almost brought out my brother's sewing machine specifically for that. I wonder if it's the way I have it sitting on the table or something now too, because it's, it's down further on the table. So I don't know. It sounds normal for me, but every now and then it does make a clunk sound that I'm not sure where it's coming from. Usually when it does that, I turn the machine upside down and I clean it from the bottom, but I don't know. Oh yeah, it's garage sale time. Yeah, it's a good time. Yeah, Kathy, a lot of times the shipping costs more than, the item cost. So you guys telling me that it's not easy? Now, I'm naive. I just don't know these things. Don't be mad at me, but it's not as easy as just going onto a website and ordering something from the US to be delivered in the US. That's not easy. I mean, I know Amazon has a Europe Amazon and a Canada Amazon because I've accidentally gotten on those. And I don't know about Walmart, but I mean, if you're purchasing it and you're paying for it, but there's no, I don't know. I don't know where the problem could be. Oh, Jody, when I go to the post office, I pay more at the post office. I use Pirate Ship. I use Etsy for the Etsy items, and they give me a discount. And I use Pirate Ship. I guess it does have a little bit of a weird sound to it. I use pirate ship, and that saves me a lot of money. I do that right online. Yeah, oh yeah, you guys have, of course, all of that extra tax added on. But do you have to pay a tax if you order from a US website and it ships from that? If you were to go on, I don't know if you can do it, but if you were to go on, okay, let's say if you go on to Missouri Star and you're like, Robin, I'm going to send you a yard of this purple fabric. Is it going to cost you more because you're international if you're sending it from Missouri to Arizona, but because you go on the website from an international country, do you have to pay more? It depends, Jody. They do charge you by the weight unless you're doing a flat rate shipping. If you have PayPal, because you have to do something with your bank to go from your bank money to the US money? Oh, no, not at all. I know a lot of people tend to do something like they have American friends that it's sometimes, I've heard, I could be wrong, that it's cheaper if someone in the US orders it from a US place and sends it to you versus you buying it from the US and sending it to yourself. All right, bye, Laura. Have a good day. It's very confusing. Very, very, very confusing. That's crazy too, because it stops people from spending money, and that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to spend money, right? Companies want you to buy from them, but then they have all these extra fees added on. All right, last one, because I don't want to put pinks with pink. All right. Yeah, see how it does that? I don't always pay attention to that anymore. Yeah, I'm figuring it's got to go into the shop. I was gonna, like I said, I was gonna bring the brother out, but the brother is super loud. I didn't want to make that any worse, We're already loud enough here. My girls are pretty good, but I do have to pick up the foot pedal because I have one cat that just, for whatever reason, she loves the foot pedal. But otherwise, they're really good. Let me move my shoes out of the way. Turn off the iron. Pick up my trash. I already did the dishes this morning, so I don't have to do them again this afternoon. I was very happy about that. And I always keep chapstick. I'm currently still using the Blistex Complete Moisture. It's the only thing that's worked so far. Oh, great, an ad. The Portal Service complains that they don't earn enough. Wow. I have heard, I follow the Bakery Bears. So Kay Jones at the Bakery Bears, she says that they have been whoa. That's crazy. I have never seen that happen here. I wonder if it's the whole house or just my lights. Whoops. Come here, cord. I can't reach my stuff if you don't give me some extra room. I have a heart and I have a mandala flowery thing here. Oy vey. Yeah, I thought we'd just finish up, and since we're getting pretty chatty again, we'll just finish up being a little chatty. And I don't know what happened, Giovanna. The lights just did that. If it was Florida, I would say there's a thunderstorm outside. It happened all the time. But that's why I have everything in surge protectors. But I still have surge protectors here. I don't trust anything. I think I'll do the heart. It's the quickest one for now. We'll see how long we go. You know, it was either in Florida, it would be that, or I have this pillow for the lower back. But when I just sit, I like to scoot my butt all the way back in my chair. I bought one of those big crisscross chairs. I love it. Yeah, in Florida, it would be a car hit electrical pole or something, or there's a storm. I don't know what's going on here. I don't have enough experience. I don't like not having that base of knowledge and stuff. Oh, the extreme heat does it, Jackie? Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. It's my keychain. I still have my 2 cactuses. I have one for me, and I was going to tuck one into a package, but then I thought, oh, probably what if someone doesn't want it? So I haven't done anything with it. It's just kind of sitting there. Like these, I don't know. I probably won't keep these or anything either. I just kind of like to make stuff. I don't always need to keep it. It's not always now. Little Ziploc baggies are good, though. I have a second tray. I saved the pen and the trays from the last one, too. Let's see if I remember everything. One, two, three, four, 5 colors. Yep, I found these at the Dollar Tree again, because anything Crafter Square is the Dollar Tree. So this one, see, they even have the $1.25 permanently on there, so they're not going to go up in price for a while. The 2 cactus ones are the ones that I found at the Dollar Tree. Excuse me, I'll step in front of the camera for a minute. So I made these, and Jody was kind enough. She sent me some kitty cat, like greeting cards that you can make. Yeah, happier with the pack. I like the packaging. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We would have, yeah, you're right. You're right, 100%. I just didn't equate the 2 with Florida and here because it's never happened here before. But we would have rolling blackouts or brownouts when it got to extreme heat and everyone was using the AC. Because even here, I saw people in the Facebook group. I don't know if they were just talking or not, but they said they don't have their AC on. And some people keep their AC up. These seem awfully small compared, right? I'm putting that sticker on there, right? Oh, wait, I'm building it on here and then putting it on there. That I remember. Because you can just keep it on part of it or take the whole thing off. I'm there. I'm a little slow, but I'm getting there. Bye, Kathy. Have a good night. People use the AC year-round. Giovanna, our AC is set at 77. I do have a little time during the day that I kind of get cold. I put a flannel shirt on, and I went out and brought in the trash can yesterday because, trash was the day late because of the 19th. And everyone just stopped and did a double take because I was standing out there in 100 and something degree weather with a flannel shirt on. But it was cold in the house. So I got cold. Yeah, we had the brownouts and stuff like that in Florida. So let's start with number 5. Oh, hi, Sherry. Where's Sherry? Hello. Oh, I think so too, Lynn. I'm sorry, Lynn. I didn't see you come in, so if I don't know if I said hi to you. But hi, Lynn. They're really cute, and I did them differently. I did the first time, I think I did it wrong, and the second time, I like this one with the light green in the center. These lights I need different lights in here, but lights are expensive. They're fun. I had fun. I like little projects like this. You can just do it in a little bit of time, chatting with friends and stuff. It's not like an all-day process. You know, you're not going to be working on this. It's not a 5-year, EPP hand-sewn project or something like that. All right, the zipper bag is where I put the leftover beads when I'm done. This thing I need to smooth out the net. Oh yeah, so they were talking in the Facebook groups, and a lot of people keep their AC at like 85. It seems the average is around the 76, 77. Some people keep anything in their house running at 68 year round, so their AC is on at 68 year round. I'm like 68, I'm looking for the heater at that temperature, you know? Yeah, my daughter was talking about, because I'm the only one home and I don't need to have it that cold. They had it at last year was 76, and the electric bill got crazy, right? All of these look about the same color. Okay. And then so they tried 70, but the problem is like my room is a temperature or two lower unless I'm using the iron with all the lights on and stuff. But as you get moving to the other end of the house, my son Justin's room is like 3 degrees hotter. So to keep his room cool and be comfortable to sleep in, my room has to be, pretty cold. Which, I'm fine. I can put a blanket on. It's not a big deal. It's not cool enough to put a quilt on still. I have one of those $5 fleece blankets you can get at Walmart that I throw over the top of my sheets when I first go to bed. I'm cold, and when I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm hot, I just take it off. So it works out pretty good. Yeah, right, Jackie? It's crazy. I think they're, are they just like bragging and lying to say whatever because you can say whatever you want on Facebook? That's just crazy. I think 76 to 78 is reasonable. And then personal preference. This house is not set up in a way that the sun doesn't hit it all the time, but it also doesn't have shade. It's just from the back cement porch area and stuff. You don't have a lot of trees in a lot of places here, but some places have nice trees. And I saw when we first went to rent this house and we were looking at it in Florida, I could see the pictures online, and they had these tarps coming off the side of the house, and I found out recently they're called shade sails, like a sailboat, that you can put up, and it shades over your window area and stuff to help to keep some of that direct sunlight from the house and to help keep it cooler. This is just a rental. We're just doing what we can. In Florida, I had sun and heat blocking curtains up. I have them here because there's a big window in my bedroom, but it's too expensive and costly to buy them for the whole house. Exactly, Lee Allen. Even in Florida, we had to have layers and stuff. The AC they have to keep it cold in a lot of places. Like if you go to the hospital or something, if that's where, you're spending the time for a doctor's visit or something. Because I don't know about here, but we had doctor's offices in the hospital back home. So you'd have to have a sweater or something with you, or even wear jeans. Because if like someone was having surgery and you're going to be there for a long time, you better wear jeans and bring a sweater or something because it's freezing. No, I after I got that space heater, winter became so much easier for me. I became so comfortable. It's really hard to do anything when all you can do is think about being cold or think about being hot. 85. That's good for you, Giovanna, that's great. Right now, my room is 79, and it's set at 77. So, and normally I'm putting a sweater on, but because I have the iron going and the lights on and I'm talking and moving around a lot, you know, it gets a little bit warmer in here. Trees make a big difference. They really do. Yeah. It got up to $700 last July here. My daughter is on the even payment plan, so you pay the same amount year round, and I think she's paying $4 something now every month for the electric. It's crazy. They want to be comfortable. They're paying the bill, so whatever they want to do, I told them, do what you want. I'll either get more fans or, you know, I'll put a sweater on. I don't care. I want everyone to be comfortable. Yeah, we have fans everywhere. Exactly, Jackie. You don't want to be too far off. They said if the people that had their AC set at 85, they're like, when it's 115 out, 85 is cooler in the house than it is outside. And if people aren't home all the time, then, you know. Yeah, those sales are great, and they weren't that expensive either. And we already have holes in the cement wall. Because, you know, they had those things. We just couldn't figure out what the holes in the cement wall were from. But now I know. I thought maybe they were hanging plants or something. Because that's what we would have done in Florida. I mean, that's my only experience. I can only base it off of, you know, what I know. I'm learning so much more now each, you know, month that we're here. If I went to work in like a office building and had a bunch of local friends or something, I'm sure I would learn things a lot faster. Because we learn, you know, you learn from your parents growing up and your grandparents, and then you pass that knowledge to your kids, and you learn different things from different people, like when we're talking here. So if you don't have all of that, you know, you live in your own little bubble of the world, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You just might miss out on a couple of nifty ideas, like shade sales. Oh, Sue, I would either be boiling or freezing at your house. I would never make it. Yeah, I told my daughter when she buys a house, she needs to put in a programmable thermostat so that she can have the temperatures higher during the day when everyone's at work. You know, when everyone's home on the weekends and at night. So if you're saving money during the day, then, you know, you can make it a little colder at night. Balance it out. So your electric bill might even be the same, but you're more comfortable because of what you're able to do. I have a problem with my asthma. If it gets a little too hot, I had the house at 82 for a lot of the times at the transitional parts, like when you're going from spring into summer. I would have all the doors and windows open and stuff. I'd still have some ceiling fans always go in Florida. But I would have some ceiling fans and like pedestal fans or tabletop fans. And I would set the AC at like 82 or 85. And once the AC kicked on, then I would go and I would shut down. Because if it gets too hot, it's too hard for the AC to cool down. It's going to work extra hard. So I know I can handle 82. 85, it kind of gets a little uncomfortable during the summer. Oh, my feet have to be warm when I'm sleeping. Okay, there's number. This one's super easy. You just start in the center. You go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, look, we have some of the aqua green. Something different. Yay. You just slapped yourself. Oh, no. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Hey, you know, it's like whatever it takes. People would come to my house in Florida and are like, wow, it's dark in here. I'm like, yeah. And what else do you notice? They're like, wow, it's cool in here. I'm like, yeah. And I have my AC set at 79, and it's comfortable. I can sleep. I have to have a fan blowing on me to keep the air circulating, the whole asthma thing. But, you know, yeah, if you have blackout curtains, you know, nice blinds and stuff like that, so you don't get to see the sun very much. It's hot out. You don't need to see it in the summer, right? So I always loved the season when it got cooler, when you hit like October, November, and you can start opening up the blinds and you can see the sun coming in and see the blue sky and stuff. Ooh, a mosquito. Oh, that'll get you. That's because you guys don't have screens on your windows, right? I've seen some houses here in videos where they don't have screens on their windows in like northern states and stuff. Like we would have mosquitoes and everything. We get random bugs here. Sometimes I have to take a picture and look them up. But at least I understand what most of them are. Come on. Thank you. This one's not bad. I think it has, I understand why you have to have the colored space in the back. I think you have a lot of empty space because of the shape of the heart. Like, you could probably fit some more in a couple of these places. Give it a little more rounded look. Oh, Sue has bats. No, thank you. No, thank you. We've been a little, we heard there's bats here too. There's bats in Cape Coral too, but as long as I don't see them, I'm okay. You know, knock on wood, keep them away. But we haven't seen any, they call them danger sticks here, snakes. Everyone warns how they're everywhere. Watch when you're walking and stuff. And it's got to be a lot of more hiking than walking, though I do see a lot of pictures in the Facebook groups where they have snakes in their yard. I don't think we're in that kind of area because maybe it's so busy here and all the houses have the cement walls. They do have holes at the bottom in certain areas for the drainage if it gets flooded with rain. But we haven't seen anything yet. You have to be freezing cold, huh? Where you get the hangry type thing. We'll just give you a Snickers. Bats are cute. Are they cute when they're flying around your house and you have to sleep at night and you don't know where they are? I don't know. But you have to be careful on this. I could see where it could, you know, because you're going back and forth. I'm holding this too tight. Tight enough I've got a groove in my hand, so I'd have to remember to relax. And if I'm not careful, that could really be dangerous on the shoulder. All right, number 3 is done. And I'm going to throw these away again. It's crazy, I know. I could see where it'd be really easy just to use like a double-sided tape or glue or something or another to create something new and not to waste these. But that'd be like saving the smallest scraps. I do love these trays though. And how everything just settles down. Send them to you. Not sending these little beads to you, Giovanna. I mean, it wouldn't be that difficult. They're not very heavy or anything, but I don't think there's enough in there for you to do anything. If it was a big project with a bunch of them, I would definitely share them. Yeah, they don't eat enough, do they? Night butterflies? No, thank you. Put on some music, listen to an audiobook. I'm feeling the afternoon slump. I'm like ready for a nap. Yeah, I figure you have others. I'm just saying it's not that much. I don't think I've seen diamond painting at the thrift store. I mostly go and look in the craft area, and then I go to like pots and pans because I'm always looking for some type of fun Wilton baking pampered chef something or another type thing that I can get for less money than brand new. I love the little mini butt pan I got for just a few dollars there. And then I do wander around the clothing areas to see if I can find some type of clothing that would look nice turned into something else. I have a few other things that I wanted to bring them out this weekend maybe and start sewing up some bags using, like, I bought some fur clothes. I bought some like Hawaiian shirts and stuff to use. Yeah, I know the bats don't want us, but if they land in my hair, no, thank you. I think Sue has the ones that are as big as little Pomeranians or something, as the size of my cats flying around her house. At least that's how big they feel. They're huge. I've watched videos. Bats are crazy. Oh, double decker. Darn it. Where's my tweezers? I'm gonna scoop my butt back again. My legs are too short to touch the ground when I have the chair all the way up, which I thought it would be nice to have it lower, but then I realized I've been swinging my legs for so many years. I like to swing my legs. There we go. I found some bread baking pans, the long, thin Wilton ones, to make the smaller loaves of bread, like narrower. Because the regular bread pans, they just end up making such a big piece of bread. So I'm going to try those out this week. I told myself, no more purchasing bread from the store. You're perfectly capable of making your own. I don't want to, but I will. It's just so much easier to buy Dave's Killer Bread, but it's like $6 a loaf, and that's a lot of money. Oh, Sue's going to the pool. Bye, pool. Bye, pool. Bye, Sue. Told you I'm getting tired. My brain's getting fried. I don't know, Giovanna. It can't be a wives' tale. You see pictures, you see videos of them getting into people's hair and stuff. Like they're coming around to get the mosquitoes around you, not like they want a nest in your head or anything. But it's really easy to get tangled up in a woman's long hair and stuff, especially when they're freaking out and going, ah. And of course, when you're trying to get them out of your house, they dive bomb you. I mean, just even getting a bird in the house is hard. Trying to get the birds out. Did I say a butt pan? I could have. I meant a bread pan. A Wilton's bread pan. Hey, my brain is feeling a little fried right now. I told you guys, if I get tired or, I start to have issues with headaches or something, the words are bad. Oh, it's bedtime for kitty kitty. Oh, those are small, Jody. They're not big. Bats in the Belfry. Aren't they big? I think they're big in New York. Oh, yeah, I bought a bunt pan. Yes, I did. I bought a mini bunt pan. Yes. Yes. Definitely. I could say anything. You never know. Yeah, I found a mini bundt pan, and I found they have like, Wilton makes all kinds of random things that you don't need, but they had the little waffle sticks. So I thought I would make some brownies in those because I don't want waffle sticks, but I like brownie sticks. I like to put brownies in the waffle maker and then cut them into the sticks, so why not just bypass it and put them right into the pan? I look up the prices online and see what they cost brand new and then decide, because sometimes they're $8 or $12 and I'm not going to spend that much. But $2, I'm like, sure, that's a good price. I'll give you $2 for it. Oh, yeah, you're nice, Jody. You guys are terrible. Eat garlic? Ooh, garlic give me heartburn. I used to have a bread machine and it kind of caught fire. I've thought about the bread machine again. They are really expensive. You definitely need to pick one up at a thrift store. Otherwise, for me, I feel like the ones I've seen are $80. Now maybe they've come back down in price again, but $80 seems like a lot of money. They do take a little bit to make the bread, but yeah, you do have fresh bread every day. When I make bread, I tend to make 4 to 6 loaves at a time, and I put them in the freezer. And that way I don't have to make bread again for a while. Keeps the vampires away. Definitely. My kids love garlic. There's always cloves of garlic on the counter. I saw online recently that you can freeze garlic. I thought, well, that's nice. Because sometimes you can't go through it. I used to keep jarlic, I love that name, around the house before when everyone was home. And that way I can just add it into the food, or I could make garlic bread really quick. Because if there's leftover something, I'm turning it into garlic bread, like hot dog rolls. Yeah, plus the electricity. My oldest, Justin, and I, we love bread. My daughter loves when I make homemade bread, the no knead sourdough type bread for the holidays and stuff. I just made a bunch because, of course, it's June, so I'm eating soup from the freezer, because why wouldn't I, right? I've got turkey noodle soup in the freezer from earlier this year that needs to get eaten up because I don't want to leave it in there for too long. But I don't like to eat a broth-based soup or any soup without bread. And the crusty bread is the best with soup. No, thank you. No, thank you, Jody. Squirrels hate me. They chase me. I don't do anything to them. They just look at me and they're like, nope, we don't like her. The ducks told us you're not a very good person. So I'm like, great, thanks. Now the ducks have been telling stories. It's kind of right, though. There are a lot of animals that I don't prefer. I enjoy looking at animals, but I don't want to hold a lizard or a snake. I don't want to hold a bird or a duck or a rat. I'm good. Yeah, see, they're just expensive. Bread machines are just expensive. Ooh, birthday treats. That sounds nice. I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and I think that I do prefer, like, that type of a dessert, a pastry or something, versus just like candy or something like that. That I'd rather have a brownie or some cookies versus a chocolate bar. Then I take this piece, make sure everyone's pushed down really well. And add you to here. I'm weird, but I have to stand up for this so I can see straight down. Ta-da! Done. Yeah, I like to watch the nature. We don't do ginger too often. We didn't do ginger too much until Rob started doing chemo, and then I bought ginger to put in like cupcakes and stuff, but he really couldn't eat that. When he did start to eat, he was eating like Salisbury steak, TV dinners, and kielbasa was about the only thing he could really stomach. Earthworms. You know, they do wiggle and they keep on going even when you cut them in half. I don't blame you. Yeah. I haven't seen too many garage sales here. I haven't wandered around. There's been a couple like in the neighborhood and stuff, but they're selling off things that, you know, they don't have crafts things or kitchen things. They have like tools and clothes. And it's never clothes that I like. All right, there's that. I'll have to put this on with the pliers, the keychain. I've held a lot of stuff, Giovanna. I just don't want to. It's got a nice shimmer to it. It does look like tile. All right, do we have enough in it for us to do one more, or are we done for the day? Let me know. I have this mandala one. Oh, yeah, that's all it takes, Pamela, right? All right, Sue, bye. Sometimes you do hit the jackpot. You never know what might come through the thrift stores and stuff. I think this one has too many little pieces. Maybe we should finish off for the day. We can save this one for the next time. It has a lot of changes and my brain's getting tired. So maybe we'll put this one up for the next time. So we have this one, and then we have Jody's cat cards to make. Yeah, I'm done for today too. Sun City garage sales. Okay. Yeah, nobody has them this time of the year. It's too hot and there's nobody around. I'll have to do that. I'll have to wander around for those. Like I said, I feel a little bit more comfortable now in my skin here. I feel a little bit settled. And rana pasta? Well, that sounds good. Or are you thinking, oh, is it ramen maybe? I moved the sticky so I can get it in. I can't find the opening. There we go. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Let me know if you guys have any ideas for Advent time. I like what everyone was tossing around for ideas. I think we might have landed on them already. I'll put the little heart on a keychain. Now the heart I don't mind just popping into a package. I like to put something in for anyone who spends more than like $100 in the shop. And when I do like when I did this big drop of all the new items, I like to pick a number, like I'm going to give something for the first 3 people or the first 10 people, and I toss something a little extra into their package. Ooh, ravioli or tortellini. That sounds good. Estate sales. I haven't seen many around. When I looked, I think I must have been looking in the summer. Oh, wow. You want the heart? I was going to tuck it in with someone's Etsy order. Yeah, I don't think I drank enough. My head's feeling a little... In my little sewing machine here, I put some emergency Excedrin. I think I'll take those too. I finally got rid of because when I say migraines, you know how people say flu-like symptoms? I have migraine-like symptoms. I was tested and went through all the neurological stuff. It's not actual migraines, but the problems with the spine and my neck area, it causes these migraines. So it has the same problems. It's the pain, it's the light sensitivity, it's the nausea and all that. But I know once my neck gets stretched and cracked just the right way, that it'll go away. I dropped something on the floor the other day. I bent over to pick it up, and my neck went pop, 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 pop. And finally, those worst of the headaches, the migraine symptoms, went away. Yep, we have to stay hydrated. I haven't had lunch yet. I haven't really had much solid food today because I have my drink in the morning. I had a handful of dry oatmeal cereal, so I think I'm going to go get some lunch. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I've got some fun things coming up. I've got a collaboration coming up soon I think everyone's going to enjoy. Summertimes tend to be a little slow on YouTube, so I'm trying to come up with some new fun ideas and switch things up so it's not a big change, but it's just to bring some new life to the channel. Follow me over on Instagram. I'm trying to come up with some new fun ideas over there too. Oh, I'll talk to it again, Jody, on Wednesday, if I remember. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you guys later. Bye.